Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for an all new episode recap of today's Days of Our Lives, October 10th, 2025. So today's episode was definitely better than yesterday, and it was just really the key word for today is like Sophia, 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 because every scene had to do something with her. So start off with Leo and Javi. They're rolling with Tesaro in the square, basically saying that their time is almost up with this baby, and it's bittersweet. So they see Chanel and Johnny and ask if they wanted to see the baby, and Chanel run off and Johnny followed her. It's not really a good time for them. So Leo is wondering, maybe the home visit with a social worker didn't go so well. So at some point, he calls, to find out something from his sources. And, he's not finding out any information on Johnny and Chanel or any prospective parents. So it's a pro and a con in a sense because they have more time with the baby, but at the same time, you know, if the baby ends up going to another prospective parent other than Johnny and Chanel, they won't get to spend time with him, but it would be working out in their favor if the baby ends up with Johnny and Chanel. Javi seems to be in favor of them being the adoptive parents because they would get to spend more time with him whenever they can, and he likes them otherwise and they seem to like them, so it would be a win-win. They talk about Halloween outfits if they have longer time with him, and that was really it with them, right? Ari did come over, and I guess Javi did help her out with dry cleaning, and she was telling them that she may need a new roommate at some point, and she's moved to a new dorm, and yeah, that was really it with them. So when Chanel and Johnny ran off, they ran off to the pub, and Johnny was comforting Chanel because Chanel is upset to even see the baby, considering what happened with their whole meeting with the social worker. So Johnny said, "Look, we're gonna find out what's going on. You know, we're gonna clear my name because I know I wasn't the one behind that picture and everything, the scandal and everything related to it, right?" So Brady comes out, and Brady's asking if anything happened between him and Holly, like what's up. They said that they saw Holly and found out what really happened, but they don't believe that Holly was the one that actually sent the pictures directly because she was at the hospital when the pictures were sent off. So now they have reason to think that maybe Sophia is somehow behind it. They just need proof. So they were there to go to the pub to confront her, but Brady said that she's not there at the pub right now. Roman is finding somebody to cover her shift. She called in sick. So now they're asking him, hey, can we go to her house, find out her address and everything? So he said that he knows the address, but he is not thinking that it's a smart idea because if she's really behind this and calling as she is, maybe it's best to come with proof before even going over there. So Johnny agrees with him, and then Johnny's also saying, hey, maybe the firehouse baby is actually your grandson and Tate's son. So anyways, Brady said that he ran a DNA test, and turns out that Tate is not the father. He's actually running another one, but it's not really showing any connection thus far. So I don't understand how Brady didn't think about, okay, even if Tate is not a match, like what about Sophia? Like what about running her DNA results, right? So anyways, they thought about that, and they said, like, maybe she's still the birth mother, and Brady finally, had the aha result, like the aha, like, hey, maybe Sophia is still the birth mother, but Tate is probably not the father. Maybe she's been with somebody else, right? So now they're trying to figure it all out, right? So, anyways, Johnny and Chanel went over to Holly's place, but we talk about later on. We go over to the scene which I really could not stand Tate, because Tate was just moping around, whining about how him and Holly are over, and he's just, his end of his life is over, and blah blah blah. I really didn't care for it because honestly, Tate has just been getting on my nerves these past episodes that he's in. Aaron was trying to frighten him because I guess he got a job as a scare guy or whatever. So Tate was not in the mood for it all, and then um he's telling Aaron what's going on, that him and Ollie are over for good, and Tate's like, you guys always are in a rift, so it's nothing new. So he said, we're over for good. No, I screwed it up. So he said, like, look, life goes on, maybe it's for the best. So he got defensive about it, like, how can you do that? I'm there, whining about how I lost the girl I really loved and blah blah blah. So he said, look, like, I didn't mean it any type of way. I'm just saying that sometimes things happen. You got to move forward and life continues and you're in college. You need to put your best foot forward and do what you got to do, right? So he's there trying to motivate him and said that, look, you're in college, like this is where, you live your best life and all of that. Put your best foot forward, go out, if you have to meditate, go around, walk around the garden, do something, right? So anyways, he tells him in depth what happened, that he kind of messed up. He can't work it out with Holly because we're saying like run after Holly, work it out with her. And he said it doesn't make sense because Holly found out that I kissed Sophia because I was trying to get information on the adoptive parents from her, and Sophia peeped that. And then when she was trying to leave my dorm room, I ended up kissing her, and then it didn't work anyway. So now I lost Holly, and I didn't even get information on the baby. So I did tell Sophia that I'm not gonna press her for no more information, and I also didn't work it out with Holly as well because Holly deserved better, right? Which I completely agree with. So speaking of Holly, right? Holly is on the phone with her mom. Her flight is ready to leave at some point, and her grandmother is going to drop her off. She has everything ready. So Ari comes over to, I guess, get her some dry cleaning. So Ari is saying that she's definitely gonna miss her. She was a great roommate, and they had a great friendship and everything like that. So at some point she did tell Holly that Sophia did sleep in their room while the blackout was going on. So she was already wasted. So it didn't matter whether she was in there or not, she wouldn't have remembered. So Ari saying that she's definitely gonna miss her and it's gonna be hard. Holly thanks her for being there throughout the difficult times in college. And they talk about how she's going to be left here with the disciplinary committee, but Holly said that she wrote a letter and took full responsibility for it and will send it the same day. So Ari is happy that she's going to go to apartment in Paris and see all the French desserts and all the new French guys, and to enjoy them and just really live her best life. And she definitely will keep in touch with her. And yeah, that was really it. They were saying their goodbyes. So Ari comes over to Tate and she gives him, I guess, some jacket from Holly. She found it after the whole fire thing. So she came there to drop it off, and she's looking around and said she's surprised that Sophia's not in here. So Tate told her that, look, that was a one-time thing. That was a kiss. It was nothing more to it. And Ari says, I don't believe it. Like, come on, you think I'm dumb? Like, you guys just kissed and that was it. So he said that's all that happened. So she said, based on how Sophia's mannerisms were, it would imply that she and Tate were up to something more than just kissing. So, now Ari feels bad because, Ari ran with it, and, that's how Holly thinks that they were just really, doing a lot more cheating than what definitely happened. So now he's like, come on, like, I gotta go find Holly. And she said it doesn't make sense because, she didn't want to tell him what exactly happened, but I guess she had to blurt out that, look, Holly's leaving, she's going to Paris. And, she didn't want me to tell you, but that's what happened. And, you might have to find her real quick, right? So now he's frantic. He's on his way to go find her before she gets on that flight. So Holly is getting her suitcase together, and Johnny and Chanel come in, and Johnny's like, you going somewhere? So she said, yeah, I'm going away, and I don't hope you're not here to like heckle me anymore. I'm trying not to be a bother to anybody. I'm taking myself out of here, right? So anyways, Johnny Chanel tells Holly that, look, they believe her, right? They know she didn't send the pictures because it was sent while she was at the hospital, right? So she doesn't understand how that could happen, right? So she's asking them, where is her old phone? So that's what they're trying to figure out. So they're trying to ask her, like, was anybody else in the dorm room while she was out cold? So she said she doesn't remember. It was really foggy, but then she remembered Ari told her that, Sophia was actually in the room during the blackout. So now, they're wondering, like, maybe Sophia's behind it. So Johnny Chanel said, yep, absolutely. We think that Sophia's definitely behind it. So this is definitely going to get interesting, which I can't wait for next week to happen, right? So at the hospital, Sarah confides in Kayla about her feelings about what happening with Sophia to Sarah, the whole drama with that. She's confiding in her as colleague, and she said that she had to confront Sophia the other night because some things were not adding up, and she was with Brady when he found out the DNA results that Tate is not the father. So she went to Sophia, asked her if she was lying, and Sophia was saying that no, she is the actual biological mother, but now it's now confirmed that Tate's definitely not the father, but she doesn't want to tell Tate that he's not the father. I guess she's ashamed, whatever. So anyways, she's saying that she's wrestling with that because Brady and her are friends, and she really wanted to tell Brady the truth, as a mother, as a doctor, like, she was trying to get Sophia to really just come clean, use her conscience, but she doesn't want to budge. And at this point, she can't do nothing because it's past her medical limitations, confidentiality, and everything. And Kayla also understands that because she can't reveal anything else. And she remembers how Steve and Brady were here, and they were trying to get information on the baby. And she was telling Kayla about the timing of it all, and that the baby's a boy, and that Sarah was definitely the baby that Sophia dropped off at the firehouse, right? She was the one who did it. So while they have another result trying to confirm Sophia's biological mother at the lab, Brady comes in with a paper bag with Sophia's apron to basically test if she's actual biological mother, because he knows Tate's not the father of Tesaro, but he wants to know definitely if Sophia is. So the results came in. So of course Sarah could not tell Brady that Sophia is or isn't the biological mother, but they tell him that Tate's definitely not the father. So now he said, "Wait, but you didn't tell me Sophia is or isn't." So their faces already confirmed it, but yeah, that's where the episode ended. So today's episode was really good, guys. Like, comment below your thoughts on today's episode. Let me know because it was really good. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys next week.